It's April, and as you know, that means New York is finalizing its next fiscal budget. And of course, within that fiscal budget, there are provisions for 3D printing. It is the Omnibus Budget Bill S.9005/A.100005. It wasn't funded, but it did get an extension until April 7th. The 3D printing parts are going in uncontested. The provisions for 3D printing in the bill apply to every 3D printer in the state of New York.
Wait, what?
The provision stipulates that every 3D printer in New York must contain software or firmware that can scan the print files and flag them. If it sees anything that it thinks is firearm or firearm related, it will then refuse to print. You might be asking yourself how they are going to go about implementing this. It's actually magic. No, actually, the feasibility of something like this is not based in science.
Oh, really?
So the provision stipulates that no 3D printer can be sold to or delivered to anybody in New York without this blocking technology enabled. And within 90 days of this provision passing, New York will be convening a group of people, including the Division of Criminal Justice Services, the Department of State, and SUNY, with experts in additive manufacturing, AI, digital security, firearms regulation, and public safety. The goal of that group, that entire group, is to define minimum safety standards. We're not done with New York because there's another standalone bill that is there, Bill A2228. It would require FBI-reviewed fingerprinting and criminal background checks for anybody who is seeking to purchase a 3D printer capable of printing a firearm or any component of a firearm. The bill was created by Assemblywoman Jennifer Rajkumar and co-sponsored by Cataline Cruz. The bill says the Division of Criminal Justice Services must provide written notification to the seller about the purchaser's eligibility within 15 business days, and no sale can occur without receiving that determination. The proposed bill defines a 3D printer, ready for this, as a computer or computer-driven machine or device capable of producing a three-dimensional object from a digital model. What? You know we couldn't let it go without bringing Colorado into the mix, obviously. In Colorado, HB 26-114 makes it unlawful to knowingly manufacture a potentially functional firearm, unfinished frame or receiver, large capacity magazine, or rapid fire device using 3D printing. The problem is how they define 3D printing. The bill defines three-dimensional printing to mean additive and subtractive manufacturing. That's right. Your CNC machine in Colorado just became a really fancy 3D printer.
Wait, what?
There was a section talking about possession of digital files. They have since removed that. And so what the bill prohibits is knowingly offering to sell or distribute digital instructions that may be used for an activity that constitutes a violation of specified existing state law concerning unlawful conduct involving an unserialized firearm frame or receiver. The prohibition does not apply to distribution of digital instructions to or between an instructor and student of an accredited gunsmithing program or an institution that operates an accredited gunsmithing program when the distribution is solely for educational instruction. Nice. We couldn't go on without talking about California because on April 14th, there is a hearing about the strictest bill yet. AB 2047 proposes a state-maintained roster of approved 3D printers. If passed, a 3D printer sold within the state of California cannot be sold unless it has DOJ-approved firearm blocking technology. Where does the certification come from and who sets the criteria? And does this kill open source? And does this mean Clipper and Marlin are illegal? And an approved list of printers? What? At the federal level, FY 2026, meaning the fiscal year 2026, the NDAA, which was signed by President Trump in December of 2025, and it goes into effect December of 2026. Here's what it does. It includes strict prohibitions for the Department of Defense using or procuring 3D printers manufactured in covered foreign nations, but are specifically targeting China. And that NDAA specifies phasing out all things from China headquartered companies within the DoD by 2029. 3D printing regulation, but at a federal level? That's interesting. You might be wondering where that comes from. There is an organization in Washington, D.C. that does state they are the voice of the 3D printing community. It's the Additive Manufacturing Coalition. As stated on their website, they are a national membership organization as the national voice for additive manufacturing with decision makers and stakeholders, including federal agencies and Congress. Their focus was discussed at the Military Additive Manufacturing Conference with America Makes at the America Makes booth.
Additive manufacturing components and systems must not be made in China, not be manufactured there.
That's right.
And so that was a major move away from what was becoming a security difficulty for the United States and for our Department of War.
Yeah, the adversarial printer provision has been talked about already today, and I think it's really important that America Makes and the coalition came out early to frame that discussion and really make sure that we could do something about it.
Yeah.
We had time to do something about it. So talk about the progression of that policy.
Yeah, so first of all, I mean, it's important to understand that we have to sort of find that balance. We have to make sure that there are capabilities available to
Absolutely.
our U.S. military,
Yep.
and that we also are not completely undercutting our existing supply chains. At the same time, we recognize the challenges we're facing with basically technological control migrating to a challenging partner. We'll put it that way.
I encourage you to watch that whole video and explore their website. And while you're at it, you should explore the websites of some of that coalition's supporters, such as the websites of SME, AMT, and America Makes. They've all been in this industry a really long time, and it would give you another glimpse into another side of the 3D printing industry. The Additive Manufacturing Coalition also hosts a yearly fly-in at the end of April, and anybody is welcome to join. They meet with different departments and different policymakers, and all of the information is on their website, which is down below. There is a lot going on in additive these days, and if you want to keep up to date, we've got plenty of links in the description that you can find information about your area. I think it's safe to say there are millions of low-cost 3D printers here in the United States doing amazing things. They make it easier for educators to teach engineering and CAD to passionate kids. They enable small businesses to create new products faster and at a higher quality bar. They let people of all ages experience the joy of bringing a digital creation into the three-dimensional world. And these are the groups of people that these bills hurt the most. Please keep reading, stay informed, stay active, stay loud. We are the ones who will shape how future generations build, create, and openly share ideas. I just gave you a bunch of information, and I'm really excited to know what you think. I would love to hear. And please visit the description. All of those links down there are going to give you a wealth of information about this, and it's really, really important that you stay informed and possibly take action, because 3D printing is a wonderful thing, and I don't want it to disappear. Thanks for watching. If you made it this far, you're awesome. Don't forget to hug each other more. Fight for a cause you believe in, and print all the things. And as always, high five.